In this video we're going to have a look at a few things I salvaged from an old Chinese restaurant that caught fire. The air conditioning in the ceiling caught fire and they basically abandoned everything in there, and the guy that is the landlord is a friend of a friend and he's got to get all the stuff out so they can rebuild the place. So I agreed to help out and we're getting rid of all the stuff, but I've been saving all the e-waste out of there. And we'll have a look at a few of the things that I found in there. And one of them is this Lenovo. This was luckily inside a carry case because most of the stuff in there has black soot all over it. Thankfully it doesn't smell too much. I've done a few repairs for insurance companies before. Place I used to work at where did all the work for a couple of insurance assessors, and you'd go into houses that had caught fire and get the TVs and electronics out of them to see if they could be cleaned up and salvaged. And the places usually really stunk badly because you get this smoke and heat and it creates a lot of moisture and stuff as well. Gets up high, really hot near the ceiling, so everything melts up there. And you get this black soot in everything, even in the rooms that aren't directly affected. So we used to clean up a bit of stuff. Sort of thing you do is like pull TV chassis out and actually wash them under water and detergent and stuff, and have to clean the whole inside of the cabinet and stuff. Something they used to bother doing. If the TVs were, because they were so expensive back then and they were still in good condition, we did salvage quite a bit of stuff. This stuff though, basically we could have just tossed everything in the dumpster for anyone cared. It's just a matter of get rid of everything, but there is a bit of stuff worth salvaging. And I thought stuff like the electronics, might as well see if we can clean some of it up and maybe put it to some use again, or at least put it in the e-waste. Definitely don't want these lithium batteries and stuff going into the waste stream because they can start fires, but I doubt any of these have got any voltage. I don't think this place has been in business for nearly half a year now or something. But this, I think, is an older, well, it's got Windows 8 on it. I can't see a model number on it besides that, but it's a Lenovo Core i5. Does this tell you anything? JBL Dolby Digital Plus Y430p. I don't know if that's a model number. Possibly. This has got some Chinese writing, so maybe this one was a Chinese import. Got one of these weirder, smaller plugs, so it could be something like that. Probably not in Australia. Yeah, some extra Chinese writing on this. So I'd say this is a foreigner. And do we have anything? Oh, we've got a flashing orange light. And where's the power button there? I can hear a fan or something. We've got some sort of dust all over it. Oh, something's happening. Well, it was. We've got the Lenovo, oh, what's this saying? Network 0 for IPv4. Boot failed. Oh, that's not a good sign. Doesn't sound like it's booting off the hard drive. Network, boot failed again, so I don't think this thing's working, which is why they abandoned it. Why they didn't get rid of some of this old stuff, I don't know, but there's a Windows 7 desktop as well. Select boot manager to choose new boot device. Yes, it's not finding the hard drive. Network, Windows boot manager. What happens if we hit that? Probably nothing because we're not on a network, but it's basically a working unit by the look of it, other than, let's have a listen to it. No sign of a hard drive there, so I wonder if they pinched the hard drive out of it. Would be the smart thing to do. Oh, it's actually still running on battery. Oh, it was for a short while. I guess that's a good sign. Looks like it's got a removable battery. What does this do? Some sort of stand or something. To unlock. There's the battery. What's this thing? Oh, I'm clueless about whatever that is. Oh, something just happened. There's your CD-ROM drive. Looks like you've got to pull it apart to get into it. See a fan in there. Unlocked. Is it just a screen? I wonder if that's something to access the fan or something. Not sure how you do it, but I don't see any easy way to get to the hard drive, so maybe the hard drive actually failed. Unless someone pulled it apart and took it out of there. So I think we'll put that one to the side for now. And we'll pull it apart and have a look. See what's in there. Yeah, we've come across this little AWA TV as well. I think it was on this security system. And we do have a security camera 4-channel switch or whatever with hard drive probably as well. Let's see if this does anything. Chances are it'll probably be fine. We've got green power light there, green light there. This one was fairly dirty. And I'm not sure that's actually going to clean off. It does come off with a bit of a polish. What is all that stuff though? You don't know what's got all over these things. Obviously not much good for anything other than a workshop TV. Well, at least it's got HDMI. That might even make a good workshop television. It's very messy. Otherwise it can always be tossed in the e-waste. Let's see if we can get it a little better. And yeah, my fingers are still a bit black from touching all sorts of burnt and greasy kitchen stuff. Since the whole place was just abandoned. And hundreds of pots and pans and rubbish bins full of rice and flour and all sorts of stuff, most of which is just going in the dumpster. But pots and pans and stuff, a lot of stainless steel there can be recycled. And I'd prefer to keep all this e-waste out of the waste stream, even though here I think it's still legal to toss a lot of it out. But there's a lot of compact fluorescent lamps and all sorts of stuff. I think most of that's coming off, so that might be a usable, like I say, pretty rough and obviously not worth much these days. But that's a nice little workshop test television. And yeah, good little set to use on a closed circuit television system or something. It stands rather dirty, it's got some red stuff on it. It's got a lot of grease and stuff on this, so being in a restaurant environment, what is it by the way? A AWA, which it isn't a genuine AWA of course, 16cm HD, so it says HD. Oh, let's see if we can get any HD channels on this thing. That changes up and down. That goes up, that goes down. None of them are. That changes which menu. That changes which menu too. No, I don't know how we do it. Bit weird. Oh well, we can't tune it in. Looks like I have to try and find the remote. I didn't see it there, I don't think, but it might turn up yet. So if I can't tune any channels in, it's no good as an actual TV, but alright to test HDMI outputs and stuff. A couple of other interesting things we got is a couple of tablets. I thought this was just a Samsung one, but I've actually noticed it's got DoorDash on it. Still a bit dirty on the back there. And this one is a Uber Eats one by the look of it. So I guess we'll see if that's a Lenovo. How do we even get power into this thing? There's a socket there. And yeah, there. So I have to see if we had leads for that. Oh, we've got one labelled Uber here. Oh, look at that. That's just into a normal USB anyway. Let's switch it on and see if it goes bang. Oh, something vibrated. Oh, I've got a red light. I did see something online about these might be locked, but it looks like they're sold to the person. They're not the property of Uber. Yes, battery probably needs charging. That's right, they use them this way, I think. They don't do anything, I take it. Oh, here we go. What are these buttons? No idea. Uh-oh, I broke it now. Well, not doing anything so far. Oh, I haven't plugged it in. There we go, something's happening. So, not surprising, pretty flat. See if we can log into the other system, which is one of these Menulog things, which is another food delivery service. And we've got a green light there. This has got some sort of printer built into it. This is probably a Menulog. Device must be returned to Menulog. Tower 3, Level 5, International Tower, Sydney. Oh well. We might have to find out about that, assuming it actually even works anymore. Ah, power switch would be good. Look, we've got a printer sound, Android. I'm not sure that stuff's going to come off the screen, maybe with enough work. Yeah, stuff's stuck to it pretty well. It might come off with a bit of work. Oh, yeah. So they know if you've been disconnected by the sound of it. But of course we've got no internet for this thing. I think these are all Wi-Fi connected. And we do have, what, a couple of USB ports. It does have an internet connection. Possibly a phone. Oh, that's not a phone connection because that's more like a phone handset. There is another one, phone sized. Another USB there. 24 volts, 2.5 amps. Yeah, quite a nice little terminal by the look of it. Oh yeah, we've just got the normal Android type stuff here. So we can go into some settings. Or not. Choose the network. Bluetooth doesn't seem to work. Sound doesn't seem to do anything. No display settings. Oh yeah, we just click on it and we get back. We can give feedback. What's this? Oh, we've got more stuff. There's no internet. What should I do? My printer isn't working. What paper does it use? Thermal printer rolls. 80mm by 75 with plastic core roller 12.7. And of course they'll sell you some more. Yeah, I'll switch it off and on again, trick by the look of it. Help! Help! Oh, that doesn't do much. Back to orders. Oh, this is a bit more than we had before. Delivering, done. View today's sales, stop taking orders, take item off menu, stop taking cash. Oh, here's the settings. Oh, here it is. Play a sound, receipt, control using a pen, device information. Wi-Fi enabled. It looks like they're good for, you can put a SIM card in them. Yeah, quite a nice little unit, I have to say. It'd be quite good to use, I would think. How do we change the paper in this thing? Oh, okay, we can lift something up there. Do not touch the cutting edge. That would not be a good idea. I take it this lid lifts up somehow. Certainly looks like it should. Ah, I just keep lifting it up. Oh, look at the dust and dirt in there. Letting us know it's not happy. Oh, there's a paper's coming out. Oh, there's a bit of waste paper in there. Oh, so it's a plastic cord roll. It's just about out anyway. And it cuts it off, nice. So yeah, nice little printer in there. Like a little mini fax machine, I guess. Complete with cutter, like a good fax machine had. Might have to contact the company and see what the story is about getting it back to them. But interesting to have a look at. It probably isn't much good to them as a unit anyway, but it looks a lot better than it did when it was covered in dust. You couldn't really see the screen at all. 3%. Shouldn't you do something though? Is that the volume? Oh, do I have to hold that down or something? Is that the key? That's probably the key, isn't it, to boot it up like a phone? Here we go. Galaxy Tab A. And this one might be the same. I wonder if we hold the power down to... Oh, something's going on. Oh yeah, this is beeping. Yeah, so because it's Android, you just got to hold the power button down. Oh, it still seems to work. Luckily these weren't in the main... Well, they weren't that far from the fire, but not right underneath it or anything. Oh, DoorDash. There we go. So it is a DoorDash order manager. No cell service. Refreshing SIM data. So it looks like this one works off a SIM card maybe. But then again, it might just be off Wi-Fi, I guess. Attention. Data roaming is turned on. International roaming. Better be a bit careful what we do here. I'll just cover up where it came from. Nothing does anything. It's not a very bright screen on it at the moment, and doesn't seem to want to go back into that other stuff. Oh, something happened. How did I do that? Oh, it's just very slow, I think. So just because it's very dim, don't know, but that thing is basically running. I'll just turn it off. Power off. And what's this thing doing? What's wrong with you? Chrome. Settings, all in Chinese. Better not show too much of that, but that seems to work. I think anyway, they sell these to each person, they pay it off over time, so you can, as long as you can log into a new account. So that one could be difficult because it's in the wrong language. How do we set language on this thing is the question. It's in the wrong language, always hard to know. You'd have to look at another one. Oh, well, at least we know it is a goer. Yeah, turn off. Oh, there. I told you to turn off. So this is what they kind of look like to start with. Very black, and you'll probably never get it all off these things. This is yellowed anyway. And yeah, it's just a phone, so it's not really worth anything anyway. I assume this is a bit of a later one. Might be worth it to see if we can just fire it up and see what it looks like. It's actually, it's got a replaceable battery, chargeable metal, nickel metal hydride, so it's not that new. It's not lithium, so this is quite a few years old, I'm guessing. A Uniden loud and clear. But yeah, pretty yellow even before it ended up black. Yeah, yuck. Dirt and dust everywhere. But at least it's not melted. I did once have a TIAC, one of their early CD boom boxes that I got off one of these insurance assessors because the door and the whole top of the cabinet I think was somewhat ripply and melted. Still worked fine. I might have had to fix the switch on the door or something. But that one did it as a shed radio for quite a while. Didn't cost me much at the time. Certainly compared to what it cost new. Ooh. Put that on and the power supply is making strange noises. Oh, here we go. I think these have a answering machine and stuff built into them. So LCD. Can we do anything with it? Oh, low battery's going to cut out straight away, I think. Not surprising. This hasn't been used in quite a while.
Answering system is on. Announce only. Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please call again. Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please call again.
I'll find the handset. D&D. Slow. Not sure what that is. Delete. Can we play any messages? I think we broke it now. Yeah, battery hasn't charged up yet. I don't think this is going to be much use. Just interesting to have a look and see what it was. I kind of like the robot voice. Oh, I've broken it now. Ah.
Answering system is off. No messages.
Oh, let's define the handset. I think. Oh, what is that? Who knows? Let's find handset. Menu. Can't really do anything while it's on the cradle, I don't think. Oh, I've got a little bit of charge there. We did have a little bit of charge there. So probably not quite a nice unit in its day. Do we have a model number? Nothing's got a model number these days, unless it's, I wonder if it's hidden under there somewhere. Yeah, that might be what we want. Unit in Australia, SSE35+1. That does sound like one of their models, I think. Same one there. Who knows? That might be the model. Cord on it's not looking too good, so let's put a dodgy old thing, or it's been moved around a lot.
Answering system is on. Announce only. Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please call again. Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please call again.
I am not a robot. So I think we'll put that in the recycling pile. Those line cords aren't really worth anything. There is copper in there, but hardly any. It's usually just a little bit wrapped, what do they call it, tinsel or whatever. Bit of very fine sort of, literally like tinsel, a little thin strip of copper wrapped around some inner flexible stuff so it doesn't break easily. It's not actually wire as such. Power pack I guess might be good for something, but probably not. We've got 9 volts at 350 milliamps, so yeah, not much good for anything other than cutting the cable off. It's probably an electronic one, so that might just all go in the e-waste as is. And the last thing I have is a good old EFTPOS machine. See if this does anything. Got a little printer in there, battery flat of course. I think these things have to be hooked up to some sort of network before they do anything much at all. It is a Move/Base Ethermot BT. Made in Vietnam. Oh, in Genico. I didn't notice that opens up some little port on there. You can put a USB in as well. Oh, did I just disconnect it or something? Oh, what happened here? Oh, it's a little... What is that? Is that an antenna or something? Oh, it's got a camera or something, or scanner there. Yeah, I think I just disconnected it. Oh, it's saying there's no power. What? What are you on about, idiot? Maybe it's pretty worn. Maybe it's just a bad connection. You can actually slide a card. I can see a tape head in there. I forgot these things actually had magnetic stripe readers. And I think you can shove your card in the end here for... make up your mind. Ooh. I'll lose it again. It flashed up its brand name in there for a second. Man, this thing's pretty stuffed, I think. Pretty unreliable. Oh, Ingenico smart terminals. It's got something melted into the screen, I think. It's fine. So this is a Commonwealth Bank branded one. Probably just going to tell us it can't find a network. System check in progress. So there might be some security stuff on this, I would think, because you don't want people's EFTPOS machines checking in. Yeah, it's looking for a network, which it won't find here, obviously. Yeah, still got the correct date. Are these some sort of buttons? Yeah, looks like it. Function, buttons. Doubt it's going to do much without that. Oh yeah, that feeds the paper. That's handy. Get rid of that horrible stuff. What's that button do? I don't think I've ever pressed the round one. Do they do anything? So nothing is going to do much without a network, but it does seem to work. So we've got to find out what the story is with some of this stuff, whether it belongs to the bank or the merchant, or what the story was, whether we can sell these second hand, if anyone even wants them. As tablets, it would kind of be good if you could, I think they are locked to the networks, or at least one of them is. From what I was looking online, someone found a way of jailbreaking it, I think. So they'd still be kind of handy for something. This is, who knows, I don't know whether the merchant buys this off the bank. Don't know what they do these days, or whether you rent it off them or what. I think you used to just use it and it belonged to the bank. I was looking for 3G, so maybe there's actually... Was that a SIM card that went in there? It was only a USB and SD card, micro SD card. Oh, we've got some sort of power connection there. How do we open these things to get the paper in there? Oh, it's here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, it just opens at the back there. Another hollow tube type one. Interesting to know. I don't think I'll ever have to fix one for anyone, but whoop, that killed it. Try and make the motor move with no power, and it died. Yeah, now it's alright. So who knows what the battery's like in it. But anyway, I got myself a complete point of sale system now pretty much. And I can do Uber Eats. What was the other one? DoorDash. And Menulog. I just need to get an account and set up a restaurant. And yeah, this phone can go in the e-waste, I think. I doubt there's anything even worth recycling out of that. Maybe we could pull it apart and have a look inside just for the fun of it, but I don't think we're going to see much in that. And yeah, it used to be a common thing to order batteries and stuff for people for these phones. Suggestion, change battery every 2 years. Well, they would say that, wouldn't they? Not sure every 2 years with a nickel metal hydride would be necessary. Depends how much you use the phone, I guess. But for a business like this, maybe it would be worthwhile. At least, I guess that's probably if you want the phone to be reliable and not die on you. Boost. I wonder if that increases the volume. Is that some sort of socket or something? Tone. Oh well, we'll leave it at that for now, and might see if we can find out a bit more about these things. So thanks for watching. Okay, I found a bit of info on this thing. It does belong to the Commonwealth Bank by the look of it. Here's the little pouch thing that came in, and if you look in the merchant agreement here somewhere, it does say something about you're meant to return the equipment if the account ends or something. Came with some spare rolls. Looks like they got the little Commonwealth Bank thing on the back here. I can see their little symbol. Don't think they were using that. What else we got here? Merchant summary voucher. Preparing summary of credits. Scheme, debit, EFTPOS, debit cards and refunds. There's something about you can only... I think some of these machines would run offline and you can only rack up so much debt on it or something before you reconnected to the phone or other network. They're kind of all yellowed and horrible. Well, one is. Rubber bands around that one. And that one. And probably a few more. So that must be to send those back. Downtime. Oh yeah, downtime processing is I think what they call it. So when you're offline you can rack up some transactions. MasterCard, PayPass, Visa PayWave, quick reference guide, some more offline vouchers. Oh, they're different to the other ones, I think. And we've got some various door stickers, Union Pay. What's in there, I wonder? That looks like a card of some sort. Might have to have a look at that. MasterCard. They're just some cardboard things, I think. That's another stick-on one. That let you stick somewhere. Speed through the checkout. No pin or signature. Up to $100. Another, like a one for your front door. All the things you accept at that business. What the hell's JCB? I don't even know. American Express, they still exist. Looks like you can rip them off and throw them away if you don't want them. Because I doubt anyone worries about them anymore. Samsung Pay, Google Pay, Apple Pay, EFTPOS, Visa, MasterCard, and just Commonwealth Bank to get their advert in there. I guess I shouldn't really be going through some of the stuff, but anyway, this is all headed for the dump or somewhere, but it looks like I'll probably have to return this to the bank. Next time I'm in the bank, I'm one of their customers, I'll go in there and... yeah. That's a alcoholic wipe, so that's just a, might be good for cleaning something. That's not part of their kit, I don't think. That's probably more COVID related or something. And a bunch of paperwork, so that can all be zipped up. This can probably just go in the bin because they're not going to use that again. Or maybe I'll find someone who wants the paper rolls, maybe. We'll get rid of those couple of yellowed envelopes. But that's that little machine sorted out. Like I say, I'll ask them, I'll probably take it with me and check at the bank whether I can drop it off, because I don't really fancy ringing up their corporate line and whatever and going through all the rigmarole. So I think I'll just ask the local bank if I can drop it into them. If not, well, I'm going to keep it probably. Not much else I can do with it. But yeah, we'll see if they'll take it back and they can sort out sending it back to head office or whatever. But I think you're meant to ring some helpline thing. But since I'm not the original merchant, I'm probably going to end up talking to a brick wall. That might be good, who knows. But I'm not going to waste my time. That's one of the things off these. Let's see if these still fire up. I did get these going a bit better. But this one's still in need of a good clean. One of these was dark. I think it was this one. I found the brightness control in there somewhere. And got it into English language. But yeah, it looks like these are pretty well locked up. They block, I can connect to the internet with them, so they will work for their intended purpose. But there's pretty much, once you get on the internet, it's all your employer or whatever has blocked this site. And that sort of thing. So they are designed to be used for business, obviously, and for a specific company. So you don't want the employee playing games on there or something, messing around, doing their Facebook and whatever. So they've blocked a lot of that stuff, and it sounds like these are a bit of a hassle to jailbreak. I'm not going to waste my time. This is a 2017 unit or something, this Lenovo, so it's old anyway by modern tech standards anyway. And this I think is more a 2020 unit. This, I did find some more info somewhere on here. You can actually find a screen. I'll have to hold that a bit longer. There is a screen that tells you about this unit. I think it's a 2020 model and what Galaxy model it is and all that sort of stuff. But again, these aren't worth a lot. I mean, they've still got good screens and stuff. You could possibly swap into another one that you broke. One that wasn't made for this particular purpose. Or maybe I could sell these to someone who's damaged or worn out or whatever their actual one for these Uber Eats or whatever company. I'll have to clean that up. I might even just throw that one. Oh, that's DoorDash, that's right. So that was originally in this sort of heavy duty case, which is a good idea. Maybe I'll just poke it back in there. But they did seem to connect to the internet alright. It's something, I think I updated one of them. But this mobile control thing here seems to lock everything out on this, which is a shame because it's quite a nice little tablet. And I think they're still going for $200 or $300 or something as a non-locked model that you can use. Yeah, okay. No need to make so much noise about it. Yes, I think we're just gone back into the thing, but they're both bright again. That one's back in English language. It was in Chinese or whatever before. So they're a little bit more useful than they were. They seem to hold charge reasonably well. I haven't used these in a couple of days. Didn't use them a lot, but I fiddled around with them a bit. Hooked into the internet. So maybe I'll try selling these to see if they're actually someone who does DoorDash can use it. Someone who does Uber or whatever the other one was. But let's turn them back off again, I think, for now. Now we've got to power off. They might be perfectly usable. If someone broke theirs or something, they might be in a hurry to buy one. So maybe if I advertise them online somewhere. This device is managed by your organisation owner. So yeah, that's kind of what it tells you every time you try and do something. Which makes a lot of sense. Like I say, we don't want employees messing around and missing orders coming in or whatever. So these are sort of locked to do the business purpose and nothing else. Go and play with your mobile phone on your break if you want to do that. Because we know what people are like these days. They can't help themselves. And it would be tempting to do something, I guess, on the side and get distracted by other things rather than doing your orders and making sure they're done. Are you going to turn off or not? You're not going to. These devices are not very obedient, are they? Power off. Now we're doing it, I think. No, that's better. Must have done it right. That probably needs a bit more of a clean. Yeah, we've got a little stand and stuff, which is kind of, well, if it works. So there you go, you've got to click it. But I'll see if I can get something for those. It'd be a shame just to e-waste them. Hopefully someone on eBay or Gumtree or somewhere will want them either for their purpose, or like I said, that is still a decent sort of tablet. So maybe if you cracked a screen or something, you can pull the one off this and stick it on your one. Don't know if that's a viable thing, but that's what we'll do with those. I can't really put them to much use. And I think we might as well have a quick look at this computer, because this probably should go in the e-waste. I'll see if someone can use it for parts. It's in pretty good condition. It's got a bit of dirt and stuff in there, but it doesn't look like it's had a lot of use. Most people only really used them with a mouse anyway or whatever. I tend to do a fair bit of typing, so I wear out the keyboards, and you can tell I've been using it, and then the mouse pad tends to get scratched. I think my old Toshiba, I nearly wore a hole through the mouse pad, so I do give them a pretty good hammering. Most people look up a few things and that's it. Watch some movies or something and don't do much else with them. Look at their emails or whatever, type a few words, and that's about it. But we might as well see if it's got a hard drive in it. Like I say, if they're smart, they probably would have removed their hard drive if they're going to leave the computer lying around. But who knows whether it was really used for much anyway. But not a good idea to give your hard drives to everyone. Is that it? Will this start unclipping? I've got no idea how to pull this particular model apart, but usually if you just get all the screws you can find, sometimes you've got to take these CD-ROM drives out or something. Oh, is that what that's not what that lock was for, is it? I didn't think of that, did I? I was thinking it was that cover underneath. Of course, now it's suddenly clear. Do we have to take these other screws off? Missed one there too. You always miss some. That's the lock, so you can remove your... So it is kind of related to what's under that cover there, but a lot of what's under there is actually the CD-ROM. Can I see a hard drive? No sign. Probably on the other side of the computer. I don't think we've got to undo those other screws above the... Still feels like that's held by something. Careful, they all clip back together. Oh, so what's going on here? Our other bits are coming off. So we've got a second cover. So part of it's a frame or something. This is a second cover. I was a bit worried there might be something under the feet. There's not. Ooh, that sounded a bit louder than I'd like. Okay, now we're talking. Ah, there's a hard drive bay. Is that where it's hiding? Or was. Or is there one in there? I don't know, but it looks like someone's definitely been in here. The screw's missing. I don't know, maybe there is a hard drive. Maybe it's just me taking the screws out. Is that a hard drive? Yeah. Oh, why don't we take these? That must take the bracket out. Or loosen it so you can slide it. Do we use that to pull it? I don't know, but it must slide that way a bit. Oh, we've got a hard drive. That's a 500 gig. I think they said this model should have a 320 or something in it. Oh, that's interesting. I can put that in something else. Yeah, one 4 gig RAM stick they said this model had. Handstar. So yeah, all I can do is put that in a cradle, see if it whirls up. Yeah, if you want to test hard drives or get data off them, God, this thing's covered in dust. Get one of these docking station things, only cheap off eBay, and you can plug an IDE in one slot and a SATA drive in the other, which is what this one is, with the little twin black connectors. I probably should remove it from its cradle. Will it go in with the cradle? I don't know that it will. Yeah, they sit in pretty flat, so I think even this... Maybe if I take the foil off, but I don't think I've ever tried to plug one in a cradle before, but I was hoping this would be thin enough to do it, just to save me a couple of minutes. But yeah, if you've got like a computer like this that's died, you can, if it's in Windows format, you can basically save all the files off it, read all the directories and stuff, and get your pictures and whatever back. But like I say, if it's like one of those set-top boxes or something, you probably can't. It'll be some weird format. You can at least fire the drive up, see if it runs, see if it spins up, see if something can be read on it. And yeah, if you've got old drives out of things like this, you can just use them as backup drives rather than buying one. Not that they're very expensive these days, but I often used to just back up some stuff and stick it on an old IDE drive or something in a drawer somewhere, just in case I ever lost anything. But other than a Toshiba laptop that died about a week after I bought it and just finished setting everything up on it, the hard drive died, but luckily there was nothing really new on it. It was just all my work to get everything off the old computer on there. That's the only time I've had a hard drive go, so... And yeah, obviously that was something not built properly in the factory. Okay, let's fire this up. Are we on? This thing's a bit dicky on this one, I think. And there we go. I can hear it fire. It's spinning up. Certainly sounds like it's doing something. I don't think I could hear it running the computer. Maybe I mistook it for the fan noise. It's pretty quiet. It's not really rattling the heads or anything. Oh, it just shut down again. Although that might be normal if they don't get any instructions to do anything. Some of these things, eco drives or whatever they call them, WD Blue. Well, 500 gigs, that'll probably, I can use that in a camera system or something. Perfect size for that sort of thing. And yeah, you can still store a fair bit of stuff there. Let's put it into the computer. I think we'll just put it in as is. If I can work out which way around it goes. Let's just plug it in like that. I might put the battery back in there. Don't know if it really matters, probably not. No, that's right. I can hear the drive running this time. See if we get a boot error again. Yeah, we still do. I think it's just going to come up with the same stuff. So I might go and try that drive on another computer. Boot failed. Well, the drive has 3 different sectors on it, one of which looks to have Windows on it. Is this thing actually off? I think it is. Don't think the battery's charged enough to hold anything. So maybe we need to go in the BIOS and set something. Maybe it's just like this because the BIOS battery's flat. Who knows? I think it'd normally tell you. Not sure how you get into BIOS. I guess we can hold down F1 or something and see if we get anything. No. Checking media. It's not F1, I don't think. Okay, just look at the quick tutorial on their website. And if the numbers, well, the function key labels are white, like the primary thing, and not red or little secondary things, then we don't need to press function shift key. But some of them use F2, so let's try F2. Some do need that function key to be pressed, though, of course. Are we firing up? I don't think we are. Ah, there you go, it's F2. Should have known to try everything, I guess. So, that's some info on the machine. I suppose around a 2012 machine. I don't see a date anywhere. They probably don't want to give you a date because then someone will know how old their computer is. i5, 4 megabytes. Windows license, select items. So how do we use the arrow keys? Well, we've got configuration, system time, system date, 2013, 1st of the 1st. So that's probably when it was roughly built. Administration password, oh, boot. Got USB boot, EFI network. Boot mode UEFI. For OS, need pure UEFI legacy support. For operating system, need legacy support. EFI network. Oh, let's see, can we change that boot mode? Oh, why not? Back. Enter. Legacy support, is that what I need? Dunno. UEFI first. USB boot enabled. or Windows Boot Manager. Well, we could try that as a change, I guess. Exit, saving changes, yes. Now does it boot? Lenovo. Oh, I can hear the drive, feel the drive actually. Oh, we've got Chinese Windows now working by the look of it. So that's what it was. It was set to the wrong boot mode. This is going to be fun. Now I'm going to have to try and work out how you change the language again, going through multiple menus. But at least we know the computer is probably working with a Windows 8 operating system. Is that a card jammed in there? I don't think so. What is it? Oh yeah, something just popped out the front. That's just a space saver for the port, I think. For the SD card slot, okay. It doesn't want to click in now. Well, that's what you get for fiddling with things, but yeah, it looks like they just had a thing to keep it blocked up. Probably a good idea really when you think about it, because they're always open for dust and stuff to get into. And like usual, Windows takes forever. I skipped the Windows 8 here because it was such a piece of you know what, supposedly. Even though it turned out Windows 10, which they promised wasn't even slightly based on it, is actually based on it, I think. Oh, this is Windows 7, that's alright. I thought they said Windows 8 on it. Ah, so maybe they were smart and got rid of Windows 8 because it was a piece of rubbish. We finally got a desktop. I forget how slow this stuff is. Windows User Profile Service. Oh, touchpad works. Let's get rid of that little balloon. I'll probably regret that later, but come on. Of course, the Windows button's unresponsive. Oh, finally. How do we even find toolboxes and stuff? Oh, well, we found that it seems to work now with a bit of fiddling with it. I should have done that before I pulled it to bits. Interesting to look inside and see what it has. At least I know it's got a bigger hard drive than I thought. Let's shut it down. Because I wouldn't have known that, I probably would have chucked it in the e-waste potentially. So my neighbour has a laptop that's playing up. I'm not sure if it's this operating system or 8 that she wanted, but maybe this would be easier than fixing her one. I must have a look at that sometime. Another thing I found, which is still in pretty dirty condition, but nothing like it was originally completely coated in soot, is what looks to be, I assume, a touch screen. I can't really see. Can we move this thing? Oh, there we go. I assume it's a little touch screen computer. No keyboard with it. Got an RJ11 though, that might be possible to use for that. RJ45 for network. Power pack. What do I do with that? That's probably somewhere here. Because I think this was on the desk with the other bits of the tablets and stuff, and I just sort of ripped it all apart, pulled it out of the power boards, threw it all in boxes. Though this got left on the floor, so chances are somewhere in all the other stuff I've got the 12 volt at 3 amp supply for this thing, DB9, maybe for RS232 or something. Would they still have that? Maybe. It is a, yeah, I don't know what it is, what brand that is, but I'm guessing it was used as a point of sale and you touched on the screen rather than used the keyboard. Obviously a bit better for health reasons and stuff. Yeah, this would be the one, I think. 12 volt at 3 amp. See if that symbol looks anything like the other one. I don't know. It's got that on it. Is that similar to that? Don't know. But it's got 110 volt style pins, because there was a power board with all this equipment that had that, and then plugged into an Australian one. I don't know if I actually kept it, or I think I might have cut the lead off that and thrown it away because it was just dirty. Actually, it looks like I did keep it just in case. So it looks like it plugs in around the earth there. Is that what they've done? What a weird, I guess I can go down either side of it. Looks rather weird, but I'll better make sure this is a multi-voltage. I assume it must be because it was plugged in 100 to 240. Oh, good thing I kept that then. I thought I might have kept bits and pieces until I'm finished. Yeah, probably turn it on. It turns off. Oh, we've got a blue light. Took a sweet time. How do we get this to come on? There's a button there. Oh yeah, there we go. Something's coming up. Meituan operating system. Better give that thing a clean, I guess. Oh, here we go. Is that a clock? Yeah, it's touch screen. I have no idea. Is that a timer? Stopwatch or something? Don't know. But it is strangely delayed. Click sounds. What's that? Oh, it's a scanner. Hand scanner, printer, touchscreen, and of course I don't know a word of it, so this is going to be pretty useless, I think. Some little input device. No idea what that is. There's a picture of it, whatever it is, I guess. Ah, internet maybe, or other networking. Touch screens, that's probably to set all that up. One, doesn't do anything. Oh, that did something. It does something. Oh, here we go. Here's our operating system. Might just be info on it. 8 GB of something, 1 GB of something, 8 of something else. What is that little thing? 15.6 of, oh, that must be the screen. So this is, yeah, I reckon this is the data, yeah, resolution, screen size. Is that something to do with the chip? 1 GB, oh, that's of, looks like a possibly SD card or something similar. 8 GB, oh, that might be processor. One of these is probably RAM, I guess. USB. No idea what that's saying. Something up here. Oh, what did that do? 4.45 gigabytes / 8 gigabytes, 274.74 megabytes. I wonder if that's hard drive space or something. There's another 215 megabytes. Oh well, there you go. It is a working unit. Oh, probably should turn it off before I touch it, I guess. I'm probably resetting everything in there. Whether it'll clean up any good, but this is probably going to be e-waste, I guess. Unless I can find someone Chinese who can use it in their business. And even then it's going to need quite a bit of cleaning up. I'll just give it a bit of a quick guard over so it's not as disgusting as it was. I'm just using some sort of, I think it's caustic soda based cleaner that I bought years ago, or whatever, this spray and clean. That must be, geez, God. That's actually 25, I think about 27, no. That's about 28 or 29 years old, that stuff now. And this spray bottle has lasted all that time with a fair bit of work. So I must say it was $70 or something, but the fact it took the insects off my car, sold me on whatever door-to-door salesman came around. I thought, well, if it cleans that stuff off with one spray or whatever, I'll take it. But to get soot off, there are cleaners made for soot. I did some research online and ended up getting this triphosphor of something chemical combination, and Bunnings, if you put that in on their website, I'll put some details on if I remember. And Bunnings have it on their website, and it's much better. I had some sort of vinyl coated chairs But I was actually end up using a scourer with this sort of cleaner and hosing it off. And even then it wouldn't get all of it off, but you get this stuff from Bunnings. You've got to wear gloves and stuff, pretty toxic I think. But it does get in and get that sort of sooty, kind of greasy as well as dusty, horrible stuff. And it will dissolve it and get it so you can wash it off. So I've got a little bit more point of sale system, but I can't read what any of it says. At least it works. Don't know if it's got a hard drive or anything in this thing. I don't know if it should. Well, it looks like someone's already voided the warranty, so why don't we void it some more? I'll be interested to see, does the front just come off this thing? Why don't we have a look inside, because that's what we're here for, right? And if it is going to go in the e-waste, I want to know what I'm putting in the e-waste. I might take this horrible stand off it too, because that weighs a ton. At least the stand can go separately into the scrap steel, if nothing else. And I am very tempted to do that because I've got to take a load out of scrap steel to avoid some tip fees. Don't think it's really worth anything at the moment, but it's worth what it saves you at the tip, if nothing else. There we go, let's get rid of that. Whew, weather's getting a bit vicious out there. Middle of winter and snow down to 500 tomorrow, I think. Lovely. I do have to undo more here. Never simple, is it? Oh, here we go. There's always to get your fingernails under there. I'll just cut mine, of course, and see if you can clip it off. Oh, mate, that is vicious. Yep. Oh, she's whistling. I've got 3 sides done. Oop, I'm just going to clip it off. So there's our screen. Quite a nice thick bit of glass on that, which is better than your average thing. Oh, that's it. Very little in there. I was expecting a little bit more exciting than that. So she's all SSD type or whatever. Wow. Shocking how little's inside these things these days. So we've got a nice Interlux touchscreen. Possibly that would fit another unit somewhere, but probably not. Oh, well, kind of cool to have a look inside, but yeah, just a little board. I've seen there's a lot of chips on the other side of that. Can that come out easily? Got to be careful of these connectors with the weight of that screen on it. Just asking to rip the things. So I have to remove probably the DB9 connector and stuff. The little terminals on that to get that loose. At least I can clean this now if I want to bother. Get all this black stuff around the edges. But I don't think I'll go much further with that. Seeing the other side of that board is probably not going to look any more exciting than the side we can see. That's, yeah, having trouble getting this. Seems to take quite a bit of polishing to get all this muck off. I might even try a little bit of that other cleaner on there. But at least, you know, if you can clean that and you can get in under these sort of edges and stuff, you can sort of bring these things back to original type of condition. But like I say, this is not going to be of any use to sell, I don't think. Which is all I'm really interested in. If I can get a few dollars for this stuff, interested to have a quick play with it. But other than that, if I can't use it and I can't sell it, what's the point? Another random thing I found was a single AWA speaker. Not sure if the other one got thrown out or they didn't have it, but I did pull the glue off this as it come off quickly. And of course, looks like a bit of a retro one, and the foam's all gone around the woofer. It's probably still a perfectly good woofer if you wanted to recone it. It's kind of a cool old retro thing. E30, got the little frequency response curve on it as you had to have in the 80s. That's an actual rotary control to adjust probably the tweeter level relative to the woofer. Bit of corrosion on this thing, so it's got a bit of a plastic surround with metallic coating. A couple of tweeters. We've got the old hex head screws, Allen key type thing. What does it say about it? An SC-E30Y. Not sure what year this is from. Got the old spring terminal things. Made in Japan, so it looks kind of 80s to me, but it doesn't mean it is. But definitely has that 80s vibe to it. Let's see if I can find something to have a look inside this thing. But this is in terrible condition. I nearly just threw it on the tip, but I thought, well, why don't I have a quick look at it? Maybe the tweeters are worth saving or something. I doubt the woofer is. The box, I think, is beyond it because of the amount of cleaning it's going to need. It probably could be resurrected, but I think I'll just toss it in the fire. So it'll be one less thing we have to take to the tip. Here we go. That must be their part number. It's actually got some felt wadding stuff in there to stop resonances. Oh, I've got out like a card. That's just a cardboard tube going down under that. There's an actual half decent crossover in there, so it's nice to see when they actually went to the bother. 1.4 millihenry coil, 0.2 or 2.1 or something millihenry coil, 3 electrolytic capacitors and 1 resistor. Probably the resistor drops the levels down, or maybe it's part of this control, or drops the levels on the tweeters to make them match. If they're a bit louder than the woofer or something. But yeah, shame to see well, it was quite a nice bit of equipment come to a sticky end like this. Well, I assume it was nice being an AWA. You would assume it sounded pretty good, this thing. They usually did. Surprising what they could get out of a chipboard box and a basic woofer and stuff, the Japanese back then. Oh, wow, that I wasn't expecting. It's like a cast front. Massive lump of aluminium. Well, it was worth getting for scrap metal probably, but most of the weight on this is this magnet. Let's take that out. There's our knob. I guess we could even plug it in and see what it sounds like, since that woofer will probably still sort of work. I seem to read why I went to that. Man, that weighs a ton. That's like a kilo. It feels like in my hand right now. It probably is. It's probably around a carton of milk or something. It's amazingly heavy. That I wasn't expecting. I guess it can go in any alley, or maybe someone needs one of these tweeters. If someone blew one, or you can unscrew the tweeter at least. Screws have got all rusty on this. That is one of the side effects of some of these fires, is it gets this sort of corrosive stuff on and things rust. There's a little ice cube maker fridge thing that's gone like that. Oh my god, I just pulled this thing for that little touchscreen display off. It's cracked. Nearly, good thing I had the power off. Nearly stuck my finger inside it, so I forgot that was even still there. That's dodgy. I think we should fire it up just for one last time. They had an old stereo system which I've also got, Kenwood. They're much newer than this, 90s or something. Probably mid to late 90s even. Dual cassette. Possibly more than one CD. I don't know. I lifted it up and the whole thing nearly fell apart because someone had took all the screws out of it. So I threw the lid away, which was filthy. But we'll have some fun pulling that to bits. I think it's corroded on the pinch rollers or something, I noticed, so it's not in very good condition. But there might be something worth salvaging out of it. We can maybe resurrect it for a bit of a laugh. See if we can get the CD running even though it's full of soot. Yeah, let's test the ohmage of this. Make sure it's not a dead short or something horrible, because you never know if these have been burnt. 6.8 ohms, I'd say that's correct. What did it say it is? An 8 ohms, so yeah, it's impedance rather than resistance. So we're measuring an approximation, not the actual. We're measuring the resistance, not the actual impedance. So it's never going to measure spot on. But as long as it's not like 1 ohm or something, because someone cranked it up and fried it, pretty unlikely in a restaurant, but never trust second-hand equipment. Very rattly. tweeter rather nicely. I think we might disable that woofer because it's had its day. I think she's due to meet its scrap metal maker. Let's just disconnect that for a minute. Well, it's not a three-way like I thought it was. Just a ported enclosure. That goes right down to nothing. For some reason that's fighting me. I suspect the controls are loose in there. Oh. Let's get the amp up into the distortion levels, I think. And that cuts right through, so it's a fairly good tweeter in a way. It certainly pumps out the highs. Just check. Yeah, don't think it's crunchy, it's just so loose that the voice coil, yeah, just rattles. Now whether that's any good for someone who's got a blown woofer or something, and I guess this plastic bit, problem is that's super well glued on and this one's corroded. You could possibly respray it in a similar colour. There are sort of off chrome ones that you can buy, spray paints that look pretty similar to that. So let's remove that again. We've got a good tweeter for someone if they want it. Oh, we've got to let's unscrew it while we're at it, because that plate can probably go in the scrap. You never know, maybe someone's got one of them with a rusty grill or something. Let's have a look at it anyway. Be interested to see. These screws are stuffed anyway. I guess you could sand them back and respray them if you can't find some replacements. Yeah, so that's a plastic front. Yeah, interesting little design. Got some sort of foamy stuff in here. I think that's plastic actually. Maybe that magnet is just so heavy. Looking at that, it's just black plastic. It's very hard, whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's just a hard plastic. Oh well, so much for my scrap metal. Well, no point doing anything with any of that. Now, which way did this originally fit? Well, we can see from those two things that the terminals, I think the red one might have been down. Oh well, there you go. I was going to say, it seemed a bit excessive, but it's just super heavy magnet. I mean, for a tweeter, that is a ridiculously heavy magnet. But some of these are just sort of bookshelf speakers off a bookshelf system. Probably not much call for parts for them. But maybe it's one of those things worth listing on eBay or something and see if in 5 years' time or something someone's after one. Yeah, that's loose, that control. She's just swiveling around. Looks like a proper wire wound pot of some sort. Probably only 3 watts or something, if even that. Sort of thing you'd find in a PA system or something. 8 ohms, 50 dB. CAI 40, Cosmos Tokyo. 8010-3. I don't think it gives any sort of real rating, but I guess we might as well save that in case it's good for something. Unlikely to ever fail, and something that knob would be handy if someone broke it, but again, probably not that likely. I guess we're going to leave that attached to the, if we leave everything attached to the crossover, and maybe even get the speaker terminal out, we can potentially flog that all off to someone, but I don't think it's really worth the bother. Seems a shame to chuck out such nice stuff when it might help another one go. Oh yeah, the terminals unclip. So there we have our crossover. I'll get rid of that rubbishy screw out of there. 2 rubbishy screws. AWA SC-E30Y. And if I'm feeling really generous, let's disconnect our amp. It'd be a good idea. I could salvage the speaker terminals. They're probably more useful than most of it, because they do fail or get broken. But I'll be glad to get rid of this dirty thing, because it's in terrible condition and absolutely filthy. There you have it, a nice piece of firewood. Oh, what have they done here? Let's get our foam out of this. I guess I could be using another speaker box or something. Oh, it's wrapped around our cardboard tube, which is, well, that's glued in there, so that isn't coming out in a hurry. I'm not sure if this isn't fiberglass. I don't think this is like cotton swath or whatever they call it, the sort of stuff they use in cars. You can see the mouldy coloured bits and pieces. Or flock it is, I think. Is that the word they use for it? There's a proper term for it. But it looks like the piece they've cut out of there. Is it the same piece they've used in there to mount the crossover on? Clever way of getting rid of your rubbish, I guess. So that's that poor old thing. And yeah, she's definitely seen better days, that one. I don't think that was going to come back from the dead. It may have cleaned up, but what good is one speaker anyway? And the last thing I have is, I think it's an old Telecom or Telstra smart modem, Gen 2 with voice backup. Not sure what year these came out, but these are your broadband, or your ADSL broadband, I think. WAN, DSL, PTSN. Yeah, most likely it would have gone onto the phone system. You have your phone on it, but you also get your internet. Oh yeah, we got it. Oh, this does actually have a SIM card, I think, or is it just a dead one? No, there is a SIM in there by the look of it. Maybe a backup for when the phone didn't work. Maybe they changed to mobile, or maybe the phone system had already been disconnected then. This place also had a modern NBN box on the wall, which I left there because I think that's their property as well, and I don't want to unscrew it if I don't need to. Not much good to me. So I think this is an older one, so we've still got the plastic cover. That might get rid of a lot of the muck off it. Got to be cleaner under there and on top of it. Yeah, got the Telstra thing there, little power light. I guess we can plug it in and see if it does anything. And I don't see anything. That's our power connector. Does it push in a bit? Oh, there we go. White light. We might get some LEDs flashing on the back. Maybe not. Pair. Wi-Fi. Oh no, online. I would have thought those lights would do something. Oh, well, now we've got an orange. Does that mean we don't have something to run it on? Well, we've got a SIM. Well, we did have a SIM. No, just gone orange. Chances are it'll work. I don't know if these are good for anything anymore. Maybe we should pull out the bits and look inside. There's probably not much of interest in there. Oh yeah, give you your Wi-Fi password on the bottom and network name. Quite dirty on top. Looks like we've got another factory protective sheet. And now I'm putting dirty fingerprints all over it afterwards. Probably not worth worrying about. What's the power pack put out? We have 12 volts at 2.8 amps, so that's possibly worth pinching. What's this thing? Is this a plug? Oh yeah, oh I see, it's a great big thing that has a standard plug attached to it. No, I might leave that disconnected. I'm not sure if these stay the property of Telstra or anything. I doubt they can now, it's probably too old. Anyway, how does it come apart? Possibly something hiding under there. They're not pull-out feet. I don't think I'll bother looking. There's always a hammer to get it apart, I guess. But if I decide to put that in the e-waste, I'll find out it from, I think I know someone who might know if they're any good. messes with these things. And if it's any good, I'll donate it to someone. If it's no good, then yeah, it might be good for the bin. I guess it'd be good for someone. I'm not sure if I think they might make you pay for these. So if you had lightning hit their phone lines or something and kill it, then it could be good for someone to replace their unit if it gets blown up or something, rather than buying another one off Telstra. So I'll look that up. Might even be on eBay or somewhere. You can find whether they're for sale or not. You do tend to see a lot of this stuff at the tip shops and stuff, and I don't think it really sells. But maybe it does. Who knows? So I'll look into that. But that's that lot sorted out for now. There is some more stuff I might add to this video. Another couple of things I found with some of these open signs. This is kind of fake neon. You can see where it's been cut there. Plastic neon. I did actually buy some of that stuff to play with. Doesn't look bad. And that seems to work alright. If you want a multicoloured neon sign. I guess the good thing about it is you could possibly peel it off and bend it into different letters or something. But you'd have to make a new backing frame. What is the backing frame? Wood or it is plastic. A couple of hooks to hang it on. Or maybe it's a bit of chain. Oh, some screws, but yeah, it's a bit of chain to hang it on, I think. So it looks kind of cool. Not sure I'd have it on a business necessarily. With the multicolour, something a bit less colourful is probably better, but in the right place it could be kind of cool. And this is a different style. I think I threw the box out for this one because it was a bit dirty. I have to press the switch. Well, that one's not looking too promising. Well, that bit wasn't running, now it's flickering. That bit was running, I thought, well that's half lit, it's coming back on. And this other bit came on and then went off. It's not a particularly easy to read sign either. With all those separate LEDs quite far apart. And they're all high brightness, probably a bit too bright. So we get the white bit, green. Yeah, and bits dropping in and out, so that's not very good. Even though it looks like it's brand new, this is probably a failure straight out of the box. Did we get a decent power pack with it? 2 amps at 12 volts, so that's a bit higher than I expected. Yeah, how does this thing... Does it come apart? This is like real cheap cardboard or masonite. Do you have to pull this frame apart? I reckon you might. Well, let's try taking the screws out. Do they hold anything? You just don't know. Nah, it's masonite. I can see from the screw hole. God, you can imagine how dodgy that would have been. One of these corners must be held by something that pushes up inside the plastic or whatever. Some sort of like that. Yeah, there's the one that was... had a metal bit pushed into it, the rest of them are just bent. There's like a metal, well that probably metal piece of metal goes right around it. And that is cheap and nasty. Now if we take the back off, oh man. What have we got here? A rat's nest. A genuine hand soldered rat's nest. Wow, that's rather sad. Little circuit board. Got R, G and B. Oh, we know we had at least 3 colours there, didn't we? Those two, yeah, come back. 2, oh, there's another arch here. Let's solder it back to that one. Solder to that one, solder back to this one. Through those to a red wire. Oh, the other red wire. Ooh, what? Oh, because this must just control those colour bits we saw flash up. I'm guessing, and then the rest is probably up this blue wire here. That does all the letters. I wonder why they're going dim and stuff. Probably dodgy LEDs, I guess. No obvious dry joints. Doesn't mean there aren't some pretty horrible looking leads, a bit corroded and tarnished and stuff. Wow, some poor sweatshop worker, I guess, sat there making these things. What a day job. Yeah, that goes off after. What the? Surely that's just hooked with the rest of them. As soon as those other LEDs go out, that one, or at least goes dimmer. Oh man, now we've wrecked the other half. I've killed it properly now. Maybe if I give it a bit of a gentle push, we'll get something out of it. That is all that's good for. That can go in the e-waste. That is the shonkiest thing I've seen built in a long time. Last thing, I have this little Uniden wireless camera system. I've got the cameras plugged in and there's a red light on the front, so I assume that means they're working. They're wireless, but you still have to plug them into a PowerPoint somewhere, so not really wireless. If you're putting them up off a roof or something, you've got to have some PowerPoints in the ceiling space, etc. to get them to, or keep adding extra lengths of the cable until you can get to one. Let's turn this on. Okay, got to hold it a bit, I think. Uniden Guardian, do we have... Oh, looks like we got 4 cameras. What a tiny little screen. My God, I don't know how people use this, but I guess if it's on your desk or something, it would do the job. Don't look like they're the greatest quality cameras, but maybe this is just dim. And a very slow response when I move the cameras. So I'm standing the camera upright and then it takes 5 seconds afterwards to show it. Maybe that's a good thing in some ways. So yeah, this must have a battery in it because it's showing a charging symbol. I did have to wipe some grease off the front of this. It's still got a bit on there. Almost looked like it had a one of those plastic protector sheets on there covered in dust, but no, it's actually just dirty, I think. Looks like you can put an SD card in there. Probably to record it. Yeah, funny little screen on it. Yeah, very slow delay when I put my hand in front of there, so it doesn't come up straight away, and then it takes quite a while to disappear. Put my hand here. I guess the ideal thing would be to have a camera that shows my hand when I put it back here. That hasn't even... finally. Wow, that's slow. So I'll move my hand, you can see it on the main camera. Takes its time. I can move back and forwards. That's on the other camera, put it back. It came back reasonably quick then. So it's maybe not as bad as it seems, but yeah, that's it. Now, do we have a way of... Oh yeah, we do have some sort of touch screen thing here, I think. Oh! We've got sound. What does that do? Is that actually recording, or do we have to hit record? Yeah, don't know how to go back. Oh, quad. Scan world cam 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go to each one. Sound. Is that our settings? No. Turn the volume down. Alarm. I wonder if that's for if something moves, it might automatically detect it. Camera setup, recorder setup, network setup, system, quick tips, alarm, brightness. So can adjust the brightness of each camera. Oh, I see. Up. Oh, we went to minus. Oh, you press either side of it. Oh, maybe, sort of. How do I get back? That little arrow, maybe? Oh, yeah. Got home, pairing, recorder setup. Yeah, you got motion detection, email, alert when it detects motion. Quick tips. Installation and service range, how to set up motion detector, instant record, view recorded video. To view recorded, follow the steps indicated on the icons. Select one camera number icon, see file sorted by camera. Okay. Pen to zoom, how to pair a new camera, power save mode, storage and delete. I can transfer into a PC. Oh, this doesn't have a card in it, so it's probably not going to have anything stored, I assume. I wonder if it's got any memory in it. Home, that goes back. Must be that. Cam 1. Yeah. Yeah, so without a card in there's no files probably. But yeah, surprisingly that seems to work fine. I guess it's maybe not surprising, but when you find something like this in a box, you don't know if it's going to be any good. But it might be good for someone. I'll have to check with a friend of mine. I think she's got one on her shack, so if anyone moves around in the yard or anything like that, it sends her an alert. Oh, well, good to know it works. And yeah, if you put the screen up on the right angle, it's actually not too bad to look at. Still rather small, but just to give you a general overview, I guess everyone's used to looking at mobile phone screens these days, so not much different to that. Oh, good to see that system seems to work. Okay, another thing I found, a Swann 4-channel digital video recorder, DVR. Hooked it up to the TV, doesn't look like there's anything recorded on it. Not sure what year this is from. Did find one Swann camera, so that may be related to this one. I think it's just loose because it isn't tightened up, so yeah, not quite sure. Part of that's missing, I think. Whether that works or not, who knows. Didn't notice any other cameras installed anywhere, so this is probably an old system that hasn't been used for years. But yeah, it looks like there's nothing on it. I'll see what size hard drive it's got in it. That's probably the most important thing. But you can at least get the menu up and fiddle around inside there. It's probably in working order. They usually are, though. They do run long hours and wear the hard drives out, these sort of things. But usually bunging another hard drive in there will get it going again. Often you can just find any old one and shove it in, I think, a lot of the time. So SATA drive, upside down, screws are all rusty or something. They've maybe just wanted some of that bad glue. We've actually got a battery in there. I'm running it off my 12-volt power supply because I don't know where the original adapter is. It's probably here and amongst all this stuff somewhere. At least looking at this will remind me that I'm looking for a Swann one, if it's even labelled. 12-volt, who knows how much, maybe an amp or so. What do we got? A Barracuda. 160 gigabytes, so I'm guessing pretty old. Do we have a date? Probably not. So I think they put them on 270405. Or Z7 actually, that is. 160 gigs, probably could be as old as 05. Disk Wizard software. Might be a pretty early startup, probably. No, it doesn't tell me anything else. $160 gigs would be plenty if you don't need, especially with these lower res cameras on these older ones, and if you don't need hours and hours of footage, if you're sort of using it on a daily basis, maybe only have the weekend, you might be away from a business or something that you want to possibly check what's happened and keep an eye on things, and yeah, they're usually enough. But yeah, I think we might have to hook some cameras up and stuff and test this thing. SWDVR4600, I wonder if that's the model. Have to look it up. Yeah, it doesn't really have a model label that I can see. So likely the FCC thing is related to it. Oh, sorry, it said 42600 DVR4-2600. Let's hook the camera up. If we pinch that connector, I wonder if it's the same. Of course they don't tell you, do they? Well, we can hook it up to the power and video. I guess I'll risk tapping the power on and hope it's the same. Usually I think they're the same as the main system, but it doesn't pull any power either. Well, I guess that's a sign. It's not going to let the smoke out if it doesn't help that the cable looks like that, possibly. That may not be the end of it, but this one's been out in the rain by the look of it. I think preliminary tests reveal the camera's probably dead, and it's a horrible plastic old thing. I think we might just cut the cord off that and put it in the e-waste. Something Max Bright Cam. I doubt it was particularly good anyway, so that might go in the e-waste. I put that one away and I found another one, which I can't remember if that came from that place or somewhere else. It's got something rattling in it and a screw loose. I do have a few of them kicking around, but yeah, it's got all the screws loose by the look. Oh no, there's a couple still in there. But this is a 8 input. Where the hell did this come from? I can't actually remember. Is it 8? Yeah, 8. Oh man, I'm losing track of what's what. There's one of the screws in there. Don't think that came out of the restaurant job. It's fairly clean. Not that that means much, but it's got dirt in the connector. It's been outside somewhere. So you can tap that out of there. Another DC 12 volt positive tip. Let's put the bloody thing away and I need it again. Well, I don't know what this is or where it came from, so I might as well test it. It may have come out of there. It's getting a bit out of control, this stuff. Oh, power light came on, went off, came on. I've got a red light there. It's pulling a bit. Don't need the hard drive doing anything though, that's the strange thing. I don't think the hard drive's plugged in. Oh, we've got a test pattern just come up on the screen. That wasn't what that... that's dropping in and out. That's an H.264, H.264, which is what it says on the front, digital network. Whoa. Well, she ain't happy. Okay, this remote here seems to work this system. Can I exit? Oh, function, escape. Oh yeah, well menu and escape work anyway. So I've got an 8-channel menu. System, hard drive manage, rewrite normal, disk space. It doesn't look like there's anything on it. So the multi button does that. So we've got 8 plus a little advertisement in the corner. Single cam, 4 cam, 1 big, and you can probably rotate that around plus all the others around the edges. So that's handy if you've got like a main foyer or something and you want to keep an eye on outdoor spaces or whatever, not so commonly used ones. System, general display, etc. Auto maintain, alarm. You can hook it up to a network most likely so you can view it externally or get alerted by if it is an alarm. Cord mode. So it looks like all, so you can probably turn some of them off if you're not using them. Oops. Buttons like to double click. Record conf. Confirmation. Possibly. Double clicking. Hard disk drive manage so we can format it. Recover partition. Encoding, probably what resolution that's saving it at. So you probably change that to change with your cameras. Add remote address, okay. Function. What's PTZ? I forget. It's something I have to look up again. That button, nothing. That button, nothing. Search. Okay, so that goes into our play zone. Nothing. Normally there should be something showing there, I think, but we haven't got anything because there's nothing on there. And we can escape back to the cameras. Can we? Oh, if I use move. Oh, yes, that might move it around if I'm using the direction buttons. Oh, we can actually flick through some of those modes. That gives you a menu. That's not what I wanted. Well, maybe. No. Oh, that is moving around. I think cam 2, cam 6. Yeah, you can rotate them around the outside by the look of it. Whether you get much choice, this is actually a bit off the screen. So possibly a proper monitor would have a bit of underscan. So there we have it. It looks like I scored another one there. I didn't even remember I had that one. So much stuff we've moved, it's ridiculous. And interestingly, yeah, it's got RCAs and BNCs. So wish more people would do that. So I didn't even notice. I'm so used to it that I put an adapter on there for nothing. LAN, a couple of USB, VGA, which is always a good feature because you can use an old VGA monitor rather than having to buy a special monitor because they're a dime a dozen these days. I'll have a quick look at this. I thought it was new in the box, I'm not so sure. It looks like someone's been in there. Maybe that's just my grotty fingers opening it to make sure there's something in there. They didn't use the template and stuff, so oh, this is one of these. Oh no, it's the hang down from the ceiling on the other side. Some of the little dome ones that just sit flush with the ceiling. Does it tell you how the power's connected? I think they're normally positive tip. They really don't like to tell you though. Well, this one tells you in Chinese, so I wonder if this is another import by this guy. I guess we'll just have to hook it up and blow it up if necessary, but I don't think they ever made them the other way around with these things. They're all pretty standard now, but I'm going to take a risk. If it kills it, it kills it. Be a shame, but That's the image I'm getting, which is not surprising because most of these new cameras are HD, digital and HD, and definitely don't work on your old systems. What does it say it is? Yeah, this is definitely the Chinese box, isn't it? HDTV, that's probably enough. In 2019 it looks like it was made. This will probably work on my camera system though. Is this thing weatherproof? Maybe somewhat. Got one of these plastic things. I think it's only where's the LED? So this is an internal camera because it doesn't even have infrared unless they're hidden behind a bezel to hide them there. Not impossible. Okay, another item I got was this 32-inch Panasonic TV. And it did look a bit iffy as to whether it would be SD or HD, even though they'll often say HD on them somewhere, which I think it says AVCHD or something over there. Complete with remote, and of course I plugged it in, retuned it, and didn't get a single HD channel. So I had a bit of a look. The model number is, it's this TH-L32X20A. Looked it up, it said it could pick up MP4 reception, which is basically the HD channels. 2010 was the year that it was made or came out or something, so it was right on that sort of borderline era. And luckily I did a bit more poking around because it turns out this thing actually is compatible. So we've got to go to the menu button, which is up near the top here. Get the menu up, go into setup, go into the digital TV tuning menu. And once you get into this thing, there was originally a thing, add MP4 channels. Looks like it doesn't come back up now. I guess once you've selected it, that's probably it. So it goes to show some of these Panasonics are in the 2010 era are silly enough to actually have the HD switched off. Maybe there was a reason for that because it wasn't already out at the time and they wanted the TV not to try and tune into the wrong thing, find spurious signals. I don't know what it was about, but this TV went from about to go in, well, almost the e-waste. Probably would have had to give it to the tip shop or maybe find someone that wanted it just as a display monitor to suddenly it's actually useful again. So that saved this one from the e-waste, but that's just interesting. This was another one out of the restaurant. This was in the back room, and whoever was using it up until around the beginning of this year obviously, didn't watch HD channels. There was no set-top box with it. Pretty sure the antenna was still plugged straight into this thing. So maybe they didn't use it much. Maybe they didn't care. But that was a handy thing to find. Let's exit that. And looks like we've got media watch. We'll get rid of that before we probably get a visual copyright claim if we're not careful. But that's another one saved from the scrap heap. I was about to toss it. It's only got a bit of greasy stuff on the stand. And needs a general good clean. More dust than grease, hopefully. The screen's not too bad, I don't think. But I'll give that a clean up. And I can probably put that to use myself somewhere. So, like I say, that's just a trap for people that you wouldn't think. What's it got on there? AVHD or whatever. But yeah, but it said it did. If it's MP2 only, the TV and the specifications, I think that means it's SD only. But this went through the bouquets of channels, picked out all the standard definition exactly like a standard def set does. I never knew any of them had settings in them, so that's a new one on me. So this is a couple of years after I last really was repairing stuff, so I never got to learn that. And it looks like it was only this sort of era, these sets. They're saying something about in the model number, the 10 and 20 series, I think. So if something, that's just the screen size. If it's an X10 or X20, and yeah, various sizes depending on the screen size, of course. It's in inches, so there'd be a 42, and I think it was a 46, and probably a 30 something else. If it's one of those series, you might be able to find yourself a TV that someone's getting rid of or is cheap in a second-hand store, and you can actually upgrade it to a HD TV just by changing something in the menu. So that's a new one on me. And I did find the remote for this little AWA TV, and it was wrapped up in, the one that was wrapped up in Glad wrap, and I unwrapped it, and yeah, it looks like someone dropped it in the deep fryer or something. So I don't have much hope for it actually being repairable. But we'll give it a quick clean up. Just some cleaner all over that. See if we can get the worst off there. I don't even want it to touch my bench, to be honest. That's going to need some serious degreaser, I think. Who knows what it's had on it, maybe something even worse, but at least I know what it looks like. Forget it. That is well beyond it. Maybe, yeah, if I soaked it in some degreaser. Did they even take the batteries out of it? Oh, no. Well, I guess we could even see if it's still any good. Maybe it still runs. Stranger things have happened. Oh, I reckon the buttons in it are all going to be shot. Yeah, it's still 1.4 volts in that one. Yeah, 1.4 in that one. Maybe they just didn't want the employees using it, so they made it disgusting so they wouldn't touch it. The remote tester says it's putting out a signal, but it doesn't seem to accept it, that button. Yeah, weird. So maybe it is one of those remotes that works, but the signal's not correct. Ah, well, got my hopes up there for a second that I might actually be able to at least tune the channels in. Oh, that is so bad. I think I might give up while I'm ahead on this thing. So that's interesting. It runs but doesn't output a signal that this TV accepts. Okay, now we have an Apple iMac of some sort. Good power supply. That doesn't look too good, whatever that is. That looks like it's part of it. That's an Apple connector, but wow, that went up in smoke or something and corroded at some point. So I don't think we want that USB cable. Oh, this has got the old stick-on, whatever it is, power connector. This did have a bit of soot on it. I've just wiped off it. These are quite a good design, these connectors, so you could put them on either way and not care. I haven't actually opened it up and had a look yet. There's a little bit of a lot of dust there. So that's probably ash or something. Should really wipe that off with something wet so it doesn't go everywhere. Now, do these have a power light? Something has a power light, I seem to remember. Oh, there should have a power light, I think. But yeah, everything's pretty... Oh! No, something's happening. Who knows how long since that's been fired up? Enter password. Well, I can try enter. Well, it didn't like that, so that's going to be a problem, isn't it? 4 zeros. Nope. Password hint. Anyone read Chinese? If you forgot your password, you can reset it using your Apple ID. Well, that is the first roadblock by the look of it. It's password protected, so whether we can do much to do that. It's a MacBook Pro. No idea what year. Do we have a model or anything on this thing? Model A1278. Copyright 2010. That's about what I expected. It's probably old. Actually feels like a nice solid one. Feels kind of aluminium case. Very cold in the winter here. Okay, looks like these Pro versions are from somewhere around 2010 to 2012. Some are i5, some are i7 processors. Don't think you can really tell from the outside. Some guy on YouTube has a method of doing a factory reset on these, so I might even try doing that. But at least we know it sort of fires up and does something, or it did. Is that actually an iPhone cable, I think, isn't it? I think that's what that might have been once upon a time, but that's definitely for the rubbish bin. Or we'll cut the end off it and scrap it. There we do have a shopping bag full of goodies. Well, I call them goodies, they're probably not much good, but another telecom router slash NBN box. Looks like this one just comes off. This is definitely a ADSL only one, I think. Telstra admin, or at least had an easy password on that one. And we have a HIK Vision, another one. So there's another camera box. HDMI. VGA out. Yeah, it looks like we've got 4 inputs. Don't think I've ever seen one of this model before. Oh, there's possibly a, oh my god, camera in there. There's a old lead acid battery. Oh, so we've got another one of those cameras, like the one in the box. So maybe that's what they're intended for. That might be a more modern unit, which would be good. Lug it around a big lump of scrap metal, probably. Well, there you go. Yeah, it looks a bit cracked. Yeah, split in the end, so she's well and truly shot. That can go in the lead acid recycling with your car batteries and stuff, so at least they can be recycled. There's bits of battery acid in the bag, but look at it, so that'll have to be thrown out. What have we got here? Is that actually some sort of add-on connector, BNC? No, there's the, oh, there's another one. It's got the strain relief. Oh, we've got the instruction book. That's, yeah, you have to be careful of that because it's got potentially lead all over it. And that's the risk of some of this e-waste, is it really is toxic waste. So that bag will have to go in the landfill, I think, with all that dust. So these some sort of, yeah, let's open them up. Looks like some sort of DIY. You can a screw there and a squeeze bit there, crimp on thing. I wonder if they're any good. I do vaguely remember things like this being around, but I don't think I've ever used one. A lot easier than putting the proper ones on. Is this even the instructions for this, or is it for the some blokes having a cup of tea and with their laptop? Is it for a camera or something? Something about hard drive maybe? Oh, yeah, it looks like the bottom of there, so there's the screws for the hard drive, I guess. Unfortunately all in Chinese again, or XVR, something video recorder, I guess. Well, that's the good thing about the internet, is we can probably find an online English version somewhere with a bit of luck. And we've got a light. We've got a hard drive. I'm going to set the TV to a different input. So it's all in Chinese again. So now we're going to work out how to navigate that. Okay, so that's not much use. We can't actually access it. God, everything's password protected these days. What's that do? I have to see if I can find out what the default admin access is, I guess, to this thing. Because that's always worth a look at what the factory access is. And maybe that'll tell us something. HKDS7104 HDH. Jeez, that's getting annoying. I'll have to destroy that in a minute. Whether you can access anything that's on the drive externally, who knows? That's alright. Pain in the... But at least I know what's in that bag. Yeah, this thing's so old, I think it probably wants... Sticking in the e-waste. I mean, it's almost probably getting to collectible level these days. Do we have anything to say when it was built? Gateway Dev G 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if it is about 20 years old. Certainly looks like a slightly older one. But it may actually be usable as a router or something, or a switch. Sometimes you can plug one of these into one of your outlets of your existing router, and you can just plug into the other outlets and it'll switch between other stuff at a remote location. So they can sometimes be useful like that. Does this stand thing come off? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, maybe it does. Oh, I see. Oh, that's handy. Nice to know I can get rid of that horrible thing. It's a big chip in there and probably not much else. LAN, internet, USB, public switch telephone network, Wi-Fi, DECT, voice, DSL and power. That's definitely getting a bit older now. So I'll do some research on this thing and see if we can find anything. Another thing I found floating around in the garage is a printer to go with that little touch screen thing. By the look of it, it's got the same logos on it. Well, we're missing the paper roll and the bit that goes with it. I wonder why there were so many paper rolls in this place. That's what one of them would have fitted. Probably the most common one. And the cord's cut on it. Oh good, it's just a plug-in thing. Anyway, if we can go, they didn't make it easy to get to the tab to just a network type cable. So that's probably standard. What does it say? USB/Ethernet. RS-232, which isn't there. Cash drawer. So you can open a cash drawer with it. I don't think they had one there. DC 24 volt. Now that's a weird connector. But these used to be super expensive, these receipt printers. But this one's got a sort of USB or Ethernet connection, so that's a bit different. So it's more a network printer, I guess. What is it? MTDP80L. So I might be able to look this up online. I've still got to find out. Obviously, I've got no idea if that's what that brand name is. Yes, it looks like the same symbols. Whatever. Still got to see whether I'll bother cleaning this thing up. It's just got 15.6 on the back. Oh, what do we got? 2019. Oh, here we are. MD-ACR1010. So if I put that in, I better do that during this video and find out what comes up under that model number. And yeah, I'm not sure there's so much good. I don't know what happened to that cover off it. I think this was on the floor somewhere mixed up in all the stuff. I forgot I had it. I just found it in the garage today when I was looking for something else. So probably not a lot of use without the cover on it. And it's probably could use anything to hold the paper roll. That would need a good clean. Not sure what a printer is going to be like when it's full of dust and soot. It may still work fine. It looks pretty dirty in the mech. But I thought it's interesting that we've got that. It's got a power switch on the front, a couple of lights, and I guess that's a form feed, roll feed in this case, of course. And I looked up some info on this PVR thing, camera system. It doesn't look like there's any for sale in Australia or on eBay or anything, more like in America and stuff. And yeah, it doesn't look like you can easily get into this thing. But what I was thinking is I do have another HIK unit somewhere. So I'm wondering, could you put the hard drive off this into that one and whether it might read the actual hard drive, since the software and stuff should be on the main board. The firmware, whatever it is. I just would like to see whether there's anything on the actual drive. And we might as well open it up to see what the drive actually is, but I think this thing's basically a brick, especially since it's in a foreign language. I've got really no hope of working out how to do anything with it. 500 gigs, so it's a good backup drive if nothing else. There's a little battery in there. I think there's some guy from India or something online and he's pulling that EEPROM out and reprogramming it or something as one way to get around the password in these. But I'm not going to mess around. Bit of a shame it becomes a waste. 22nd of January 2016. So technically it's getting old anyway, but SATA with 64 megabyte of cache. Jumper settings, etc. So it's a WD Enterprise class, so made for heavy duty use. But the sort of hours these things do, it's 5 to 10 years, I guess you're lucky to get out of one, since it's running constantly in most scenarios. Well, let's take that out of it. I think this can just go in the e-waste. Nothing of real value in there. No, virtually nothing at all. There's that annoying little beeper. I should hit that with a hammer after all the noise it made. Actually, it turns out this thing was just a H.264. So it wasn't a HIK Vision one, so that's not much good then. I doubt that's going to be compatible. Maybe I'll take that and try it in the computer, see if I can see anything on it. Well, that concludes this video finally. It's gone on a bit longer than I expected. Quite a bit of stuff there. There are also a couple of vacuum cleaners. One stick and one normal floor vacuum cleaner from Dyson, which are both in pretty filthy condition, and someone's done a bit of a dodgy on the charger on the stick one. And yeah, there was no voltage coming out of the charger because they'd cut the plug off and put one with a 3-core onto a cable with 2 cores in it. So I fixed up their joint. It's now got the 26 volts, but still no light on the vacuum. And there are a couple of stereo systems which we'll do separately. I think that's the bulk of it. There's a couple of ovens and stuff like that. Nothing exciting. And yeah, not much else. Unfortunately, most of this stuff is really only good for the e-waste, but it's interesting to have a look at a bit of different stuff for a change, rather than the usual consumer electronics, more sort of business orientated stuff. But anyway, this has gone on a bit too long, so thanks for watching.